Hello, welcome back. Today it's all about designing, making stuff, and we'll be looking at the magic item, the magic armor. You've been waiting, it is finally here. We're going to do magic armor today. I have organized a poll which you should feel free to take part in if you want to, and this is probably one of those fun times where we're going to have some interesting ideas. There's a lot of armor already in tabletop role-playing games, so it might be a little bit difficult to come up with some original ideas, but we'll see how we go. So here is the poll. My suggestion is grab some food, some drink, make sure you're comfortable, and we're going to get started because we don't have enough time to get as much as we need to get done. So let's just go for it, shall we? Hi, welcome to HowtoRPG. My name is Fred Weller, and today I want to talk about tabletop role-playing games, Dungeons and Dragons, Shadow Dark, Pathfinder. It doesn't really matter what it is. We're going to make magic items, and they can really be used and ported over to any game depending on the way you design them. So magic armor is the focus, and I really want to focus on common stuff, things that are really low-powered, because there's quite a lot of armor already created for various games, and we don't really need to just duplicate them. We would like to do something a little bit different, and so that is the plan for today. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how this all pans out. Should be interesting, for sure. I have a document that I have put together so that we can get this done. I have already started, and I have an idea in my brain that I need to write down right now before I forget, because I know I will. But before I do that, I better make sure that I prompt people so they feel like they can share their ideas. So let's do that now. So hashtag, what are your magic armor ideas? And I'm going to go with common and simple. It's easy to make really powerful armor. It's more difficult to make really simple armor. So yeah, should be an interesting task for today. All right, so let's get on with it, because I'm going to have to probably finish a little bit earlier than I normally do this live stream, just for the sake of the fact that I've got to do other things as well in my life. Anyway, let's do this, shall we? Here we are. Now, I'm not even going to go over these because I have to write down an idea that popped into percolating in my brain as I was sitting here. And I was like, what should I do with this idea? So I am going to just go copy paste here, chuck this in, and then explain what I've been doing, and then build out some stuff. So this is it's going to be a wondrous item. It is armor, but it's fake armor. Okay. And so let's go up to the top and let's have a look at the first one that I've put together. One of the biggest problems I always find is people don't like sinking and drowning, and they're often wearing heavy armor or medium armor and they sink. Now, I believe there is already mariner's armor, but that gives you a swim speed. All this armor does is it's medium or heavy, and while wearing the suit of armor, you float. You do not sink below the surface of liquids. That's it. And I'm going to make that a common item. Requires attunement. It's actually quite useful. Like, one of the biggest problems if you're dealing with water and you're in a plate mail particularly, is you're probably going to drown. Anyway, that's where my head was at with this one. Okay, so now the next one we need to deal with. Now, luminescent armor, you probably already know exactly where I'm going with this. I thought it would be funny to create some armor that does exactly the thing that you do not want to have happen, which is to be lit up like a Christmas tree. So I think what was inspired this was just being naughty, but another aspect was there's an old movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger called The Running Man, and there's a character called Dynamo. So I thought it would be funny to have literally a glow in the dark suit of armor, and medium heavy. We've got all sorts of things going on here, but not hide. That's adamantium. where is it? Here we go. Light, medium, heavy, or heavy. Okay, so we're just going to put in light. So I think we can add this to light for luminescent. Medium and heavy. Okay, so you can make it any. I'm not putting a +1, +2, +3 here. These are common armors, right? So in other words, they should be something that you can have in the game without them sort of breaking it. And +1, +2, +3 is like anybody can do that. Anybody can do that. If you want to do that, that's fine, but I'm not going to do that here. Anyway, let's see if we can't make, while we're in this sort of armor. Let's go here. I think the light cantrip is probably duplicating that to a certain degree, but I want to I want to do a couple of things with it to make it a little bit more interesting. Tickle my fancy. Is it dancing lights? Might actually work quite well too. The legacy one or the new one? I don't know. Is the legacy one better? This is rather long-winded. I think we'll just skip that one. I'm not really that interested. I want to be proper illumination. Proper illumination. Here we go. So light. Have they actually trimmed it down? No. Okay. So bright light. Okay. So this is. I think we just need to say it just glows brightly. I don't think we need to. The dim light thing, whatever. The color change idea is definitely something we want to keep. So I want to do this. I'm going to kind of bastardize this a little bit. The spell, it's not going to come out the same way that it came in. Anyway, let's just do this. Paste. Okay. While we're in this some sort of armor, it gives off bright, colourful light to a distance of let's make that 30 feet, because 30 feet is a nice number, easy for Dungeons and Dragons, but also easy to put across into Shadow Dark, which would be near range. So we're going to make 30 feet radius, and we're going to forget about the dim stuff. That's what we get. It's magical light. It can behave however I want it to. Okay, while wearing this suit of armor, it gives off colourful, bright, colourful light to a distance of 30 feet. 30 feet. That's all we need to do. We don't have to say radius. 30 feet. Get rid of that. 30 feet. Okay. The light can be any colour you like. Okay, gives off bright, colourful light. Do I even need this? Feet. It's foot. 30 feet. Okay. One line. Done it all. Okay. While wearing the suit of armour, it gives off bright, colourful light to a distance of 30 feet. And really, the other aspect of it in terms of its colour, I don't need to see it still specify. Honestly, I think we'll leave that to the players and the game master to figure out. Okay, now the quick change. Dum dum dum. One of the things you'll notice, right, is most suits of armour have a time frame. And unfortunately, that time frame's quite long to put on armour and take it off. And I thought it would be fun to have armour that you can put on and take off really fast, like quick change armor. So this is where this is going. So we're going to go with light, medium, and I believe, what is it? Is it's from anything from a minute to 10 minutes to don or doff or take on or put on armor or take it off or something like that. I think that's essentially the process, right? Like that's how long it takes, if I remember right. I could be wrong. Here we go. So and I think they haven't really changed the rules too much around this, depending on the version of D&D you're playing. Other tabletop role-playing games that are based off D&D may be similar too. So I believe it is light armor is 1 minute, for 1 minute for medium armor to doff, and 5 minutes to don, 10 minutes. So it's really between 1 minute and 10 minutes. So let's do this. Copy and just drop this down and paste it here. Well, we're in the suit of armor. While attuned, while bonded to this So while bonded to this suit of armor, you can take it off and put it on in 1 round. That pretty much covers everything in terms of game systems. There we go. 6 seconds, on and off, on and off. It's quick change armor. Okay, so we've got that one. Now the fake armor, this is going to be a little bit more interesting. Let's go here and just put this in, paste. So while wearing the suit, you can transform its appearance to any type of armor, but it has no armor class benefit. So you look like you're wearing armor, but you're not wearing any armor whatsoever. Okay. While wearing the suit, you can transform its appearance to any type of armor, but it has no armor class benefit. Okay, I think I've got that. So we've got 4 so far. I feel like we're doing pretty well today. So let's go back here. And let's go back again, because I'm going to go through the cantrips as I normally do with this to see if we can sort of pull out some ideas. But we need to go to your ideas. Let's see what the chat has got cooked up for today. I'll be interested to see. The problem is, when I was looking through the different suits of armor, there really is so many different types. So if you're already starting to think, I can think we should have armor that makes you able to sneak around. There's already armor that does that. It gives you a better chance to sneak around. There's armor that does that. If you're thinking, I should have armor that makes you immune to damage or resistant to damage, there's armor that does that already. So it's not really new stuff. So yeah, you're going to have to really put your thinking cap on here. My suggestion is think of all of these situations where armor has come up and there just wasn't a solution for it. And it might be something very, very simple. But anyway, let's go over to chat and see what people have to say, because I'm kind of curious, actually. Hello, Pale Rider. Dragon hide armor protects against dragon attacks of the type of armor the armor was fashioned from. The type of protection is up to you. So this is really high level armor, isn't it? Because now we're really thinking in terms of high level stuff. So so I'm not promising I'm dealing with that today. I will paste it in, but I'm going to try to work on the lower level stuff. Okay, now Pale Rider, you've got here swarm armor. The armor is covered in etchings of a swarm creature. When commanded, the swarm lifts off the armor and attacks the... Right, so this is... Now, we did something recently, didn't we? We made I think a magic bag that releases a swarm of insects not so long ago. Was that last week? I think it was. So that's another one. Okay, alright, so that's that one. I might be able to find the mechanics behind that bag, but the problem is I don't want it to be exactly the same as the bag, so... and this is still a high level armor, isn't it? So I have to think a little bit more about this. Okay, that's fine. Let's go back to the document since yesterday. It was terrible about that sort of thing. It's like you couldn't see anything. So I didn't shift the screen back. But yeah, I think I've got an idea of where we can start with this. I will have a look and see if I can think of an idea to sort of make that work, but let's get back to the Google document. Okay, here we go. So we've got the unsinkable armor, the luminescent armor, the quick change armor, the fake armor, which really isn't armor at all. We've got Pale Rider's ideas, and then we've got this swarm armor, and I believe we had a bag that was kind of, is it bag of bugs? Yeah, so the bag of bugs was basically a swarm. So it would be an uncommon magic item if we did something like that. We could take this and go copy and go up. Again, it would not be common, it would have to be uncommon, but I'm not against that idea. So let's go here and make the swarm armor. Swarm armor. Okay, it's uncommon, it's not a wondrous item, it is armor, because that is what we're building. And I'm assuming, let's say that it doesn't work with light, but it's medium to heavy. Or is it just heavy? No, let's make it medium to heavy. I don't feel like it's going to be a light armor of any kind, so let's go with medium heavy. Copy. Copy, yes. And then paste. Okay, now we need to take the armor section that you've got here, break it down. Okay, so let's take that sentence and go cut and drop it into here, bring this down, paste. The armor, and I do appreciate those people who are using British English or spelling that is used outside of America rather than modified English. If you have noticed, I have resorted to going back to using the spelling for everything in my own language rather than the modified North American language and their version of English. It causes me too much trouble. It makes it impossible for me to operate my own society. So I've got to work this way. So I really do appreciate that, Pale Rider. I noticed that you actually had done that. Okay, here we go. The armor is covered in an etching of a swarm creature. An etching. An etching is an etching or a carving? Etching of a swarming creature. Swarming creature. Okay, it's there. So now we need to have the other aspect of this. which is sorry, while wearing this armor, you can use a free action to see I'm moving things around a little bit. It'll all come together. Cut, paste. While wearing this armor, you can use a free action. We're going to make it a free action. No, we're going to make it an action. You can use an action. Use an action to okay. To command the swarm while wearing this armor, you can use an action, not action, use an action to command the swarm to action to make the swarm lift off the armor and command armor and command it to attack an enemy. I think I got it. It took me a little while piecing it together, breaking it down, but I think we're in the right place. So there, not bad. We got it. Is that still reasonable? I feel like it is still reasonable. The other one was a little bit more chaotic. This is a little bit more controllable. It reminds me a little bit of, there's a movie called Elektra, the girlfriend to Daredevil, who's the expert martial artist, whatever, and she's facing off against an enemy with tattoos all over his body, and the tattoos come off birds and snakes, and it kind of reminds me a little bit like that. Okay, so that's cool. Nice. Let's go back to chat before I start working through and see if there's anything else I need to work on. Holy armor. The armor acts as a holy symbol. Oh, that's a smart idea. The number of times that there's been a cleric or a priest in the group and they've had to hold their holy symbol, but they don't want to hold their holy symbol and do something because they want to have their shield out and they've got their sword out, and if they put their sword away and pull out the holy symbol, that would mean they have to use their action and then they can't use it. Great idea. Great idea. Smashing. Pale Rider is on fire today. Tell you what, we're going to have a good time. Green Man, I'm not going to call it man, Green Man armor made of interwoven reeds, vines and bark. It acts like magical leather armor. It gives a bonus to hide in the woods. I like part of that idea, but let me see if I like the holy armor idea a lot. Like, that's awesome. But I don't think I'm going to call it whole Green Man. I might call it something else. I figured I wouldn't insult your eyeballs with our crude spelling. I know, I get it. I get it. It's just, it makes it impossible for me to operate. I wind up every time I have to write something, people are correcting me because I used to be able to differentiate the two, and I just can't. It doesn't work for me anymore. Yeah. So that's life, and I'm not changing. I'm sticking with what I know. Okay, here we go. So I do appreciate that. This is going to be. I can't wait to do the holy one. This is the one that really I'm interested in. is it Battle Tagu armor? The armor is covered in razor Tagu armor, razor sharp edges. When commanded, the armor will vibrate, which... Oh, okay. Battle Rager. Okay. Alright. Okay. I was wondering if it was Rager. Really, it's kind of like the old spiked armor. Do you know how you used to have spiked armor and everybody tries to grab you? It's a problem. It doesn't work because you're covered in spikes. Okay. I got that. So we're going to work on the holy one. And I am going to bring that screen around. Armour, armour. We're doing really well today. I'm so impressed. Pale Rider's doing all the work. Well, I've done some work as well. A little bit. I feel like I've done a few. But anyway. Let's go back to here. So I've done 1, 2, 3, 4. Pale Rider's come up with a few, and I've typed up 1. So let's do the holy armor. This is such a good idea. This really is. So we should definitely make this medium to heavy. Oh, hang on. I just want to think about this. There are certain games where you probably would only have access to leather armor, nothing else. And so that would suck. I know what we'll do. Here we go. Alright, so I think I'm pretty close to where I need to go with this. This is holy armor, and go bold. While wearing the suit of armor, it acts as a holy symbol. God, come on, try to get the spelling right. Acts as a holy symbol to your deity, to your deity with the image of the god or goddess's domain inscribed on the chest. It's like your Superman suit. My God is on my chest. I don't need to hold it because it's on my chest. Okay, that is super simple, nice and common, brilliant. We should have known. If it isn't Fred Huber and it's not Pale Rider, it's probably not brilliant. Actually, Shy X is pretty good at this as well, if I remember right. Okay, let's do the green armor. I'm going to get rid of man. I'm going to put green armor. And how do I want to do this? This is one of those times where it's basically leather armor. Okay, so it's light armor. So we'll take this. Oh, hang on, is there already armor that allows you to hide in the woods? I think there might be. I could swear there might be. Let's just go down and have a look. Am I showing you the screen? So yes, you are seeing it. Thank God for that. Armor, this is invulnerability, safeguard. Don't think it's that. Armor of fall, weightless. Arrow catching shields. Breastplate of balance. Cast off armor. What's cast off armor? You can doff this armor as a magic action. Oh, you can take it off. Oh, so they got cast off armor on and off. They haven't got it off though. They've got doff, but not on. And I've made mine. Let's just have a look here. Quick change. So you can take it on and off. Okay. While bonded to the suit of armor, you can take it off and put it on in one round. It's a free action. Screw you. Okay. Here we go. I'm happy now. So we did have, so that somebody had already done something like that. So let's see if we can find, I'm pretty sure I saw something around hiding, I don't know. What's the legacy one? Okay. I see. Okay. All right, demon, clockwork, no, I'm sure there's armor. Is it dwarven? It won't be dwarven plate. Elven chain? Is it elven chain? It might be elven chain. Let's have a look. +1, blah, 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 blah. Muffled and that sound. So basically it's to soundproof you a little bit. But it's not exactly what he was talking about, so that's something. Fey wrought armor. Oh, I feel like this could be what we're talking about though. Let's have a look at this one. Colourful flower. No, it's a completely different thing. So we don't have to worry about that one. Can't be legendary, surely. Grimwrought. Grayscale, emotion. No, it's something else. Okay, so that's only a couple more types of armor here that it could be. Leather, the golem, living armor, mariner's armor, leather, the mithril armor, mithril plate. So this is stealth, but this is, yeah. You specified the woods, forest and woods is what we're really targeting for that one, right? Power, sapphire, buckler, scorpion. So no. Okay, let's try one more. Shield, far sight missile, blazing cavalier, shield of hidden lord, blah 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 blah. No. So I think we're actually safe with that one. The only thing is, it's like what is the effect? It feels like it's like almost like pass without trace. It almost feels like pass without trace. So here is where we go. We're going to go with, well, we're going to sort of armor. Okay. Copy. Paste. So it's light. Does light just fall into leather armors, or is there other armors as well that are not that? I can't remember. I'm sure it's just leather armor and studded leather that exist, right? That fall into the light category for most game systems. Padded, which is, okay, leather, studded, so, okay. While inside, okay. This light armor. So we're gonna have to break this down again. So go cut. Paste. Armor is made of interwoven reeds, vines and bark. Leaves. Got to have some leaves, vines and bark. Okay, leaves. Yes, so there's our description, and now we need a mechanical effect while wearing this armor. While wearing the suit of armor, you have, let's just go with advantage. Advantage on dexterity, stealth checks to hide and sneak around forest or woods, forest or woodland areas. There we go. I'm not going to treat it as a +1 armor. I'm just going to say, I mean, it's magic armor for sure, but its effect is green armor. Do we want to call it green armor? Is there a better name? I almost feel like it should be called something else, like, I don't know, green armor? We could call it woodland armor. We could call it forest armor. We could call it tree armor. Green armor or woodland armor? Oh, I don't know. We'll highlight this with the bold, but we'll also put in yellow. You let me know which name you prefer. Okay. Alright, so we've got the Battle Rager armor here that has been presented as a possibility. Let's see if we can't do something with that. The armor is covered in razor sharp edges. When commanded, the armor will vibrate, which could cause massive damage to anyone held in a bear hug from Drit's novel. Is it? Oh, okay. So the name has got to go. If it's called Battle Rage armor, you know that WotC will be all over this like a sick bear. So let's just... I think we need to do something else with this. The problem with spiked armor is there are I know that it exists in so many different games. It's existed in 3.5. It's been around in Pathfinder. It's been appropriated all, so yeah, a lot. There's been a lot of them. So I think this might be one of those situations where we kind of have to just hold back on that, because I don't know that we can do that without, because it would have to be distinct. It'd have to be fairly distinct to not wind up annoying somebody and giving somebody some excuse. I mean, I live in New Zealand, so suing somebody in New Zealand is a pointless exercise. Let's see, but I don't need hassles in my life either. So let's have a look. Let's see if I can find anything else out of the spells that we could port across. I don't want to do Blade Ward because we've done sort of Blade Ward. We did something else with Blade Ward and it was fairly appropriate. I think it was some sort of warding magic item. I don't want to do that. Chill Touch, no. A lot of these aren't really going to work that well. Druidcraft, I almost feel like Druidcraft is not a particularly good spell, but it's not really doing anything that will work well enough to solve a lot of our problems, so we'll just leave it alone. Okay, Elementalism. I think this spell is kind of shite. Not in terms of its effect, but in terms of how useful it can be to us for making a magic item. I don't think that's going to work either. Okay, so we'll just keep going. Friends, bolts, so none of those are going to work. What's my time like? Okay, so I'm about almost halfway through my time frame. Okay. Friends, frostbite, don't want to do that. Guidance. Well, yes and no. Yes and no. Yes and no. I don't know about this one. The guidance has been kind of a bit overblown in terms of a spell. Whether it's the old one or the new one, it's still too good as a cantrip and too easy to just spam, just annoying the snot out of everybody. And I feel like reaction spells are precocious. It is one action though. Okay, wrong creature ends until the spell ends. Okay, yeah. Okay, so it's not a reaction anymore. Thank God from the playtest. Legacy, gust, no. Infestation. We've kind of got infestation done with the swarm thing that was going on before. Kind of. Light is done. Lightning lure. Lightning lure might. We could go with the dynamo idea and actually use maybe shocking grasp as a spell that you can. That might be a way to go. Mage hand's not really suitable. Mending, no. Making armor that can't be destroyed would be actually quite useful. I don't think it would be counted as being a low-level magic item, though. I think it is armor that you can't destroy and can't be damaged, even from magical means. Probably too valuable. If we don't put a +1, +2, or +3 on it, it'll be a bit different later on, but that's certainly something to consider. Let's keep going. I think the shock and grasp idea is probably no. It's not going to work because it's not. It's the gauntlet that's doing it. It's not the armor itself. So I feel it's not right. It's not going to work. But we could make it. We can make it like an electric eel. So if somebody touches your armor, they get electric shock. So it's more a defensive thing. That would be funny. Shocking armor. I kind of like that idea a lot. Let's see if we can do shocking armor. Let's do some shocking armor. And let's make so shocking armor. And we'll make it only medium to heavy. Common. Yeah, I think we can do that. While wearing the suit of armor, it's armor. While wearing the suit of armor, it protects you from anything touching you, by inflicting let's just go 1d4 lightning damage. 1d4 lightning damage. So the question is, do I want this to travel through like a hand, somebody touching you or punching you or kicking you? It's going to work. Touching you or striking or hitting you or hitting with an unarmed strike. Suit of armor that protects you from anything touching you or hitting with an unarmed strike by inflicting 1d4 lightning damage. No save. Do I need to set a number of times per round? Inflicting 1d4 lightning damage per round. That's just to deal with the possibility of something having multiple attacks. We don't want to be able to suddenly inflict huge quantities of damage with this, with no save and no attack roll, and like a Hydra suddenly is going to get hit 5 times if it attacks you 5 times. Anything touching you or hitting with an unarmed strike. Okay, so I think that's basically what we're aiming for. Right, let's see what chat has to say. Let's go back and see what has been cooking up over there. Ooh, we've got Shy X in the house. It'll be interesting to see how this goes. So there's a lot of stuff going here. So I'm just quickly going to see here. So Shy X, welcome to the party, Shy X. I am very interested to see what you have cooked up. Pale Rider, I'm going to go through. There's a lot to go through here. William Bennett, Sylvan Armour. Okay. And then Bladed Armour instead of Battle Rager. So Wizards and Warp Drives is a patron and a, well, welcome to the party. How's it going, Nacho? Grinder Armour. Yeah, I think, oh yeah. Hello, Agile Monk. Greetings, Fred. YouTube notifications didn't get notify yet again. Late to the party, sir. No problems, John. John, or Agile Monk, is a patron and a moderator. Thanks for being here, buddy. So there looks like there's a few ideas I need to cook my way through here. I'm going to fall behind. Skinned leather or hide armor carved from an animal. I don't know what that means. I don't know what has scent and visuals of a creature. Oh, I see what you're trying to do here. Okay, so I'll take this down in Shy X. We'll copy and paste. Not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do that one. But let's just keep copying down. And it'll either come to me now or later. Oh, by the way, for those of you who have been waiting on Shadow Dark, I have sent the first draft to layout. It is being laid out, and the art will probably, well, I'll probably start drawing the art for the cover this weekend. Yes, I'll be drawing it. And yes, I'll probably ask somebody else to do it, but I can't pay them anything. I don't know if it's going to make any money. So hence why I'm drawing it and not really approaching anybody. Operator's armor. Light armor carved in pockets. Basically acts like a bag of holding. Oh, it's... yeah, but it's a powerful item. No, I'm not putting that one down. I don't want to duplicate a bag of holding in armor. A Phantasm Force armor. When commanded, it creates multiple images of the character. It's really like made. It's mirror image, isn't it? You're duplicating mirror image. I can see that. I can live with that as a concept. Phantasm Force. Juicer armor. Up to 6 potions can be attached to the armor. When commanded, the armor will inject the wearer with one of the potions. It's very funny. The idea behind this is so that you don't have to use a bonus action or an action, right? And okay, I've made a note of it. Sylvan armor. You reckon Sylvan armor for the other one? I'm gonna think about it. Everything's Sylvan. Heavier armor has the heavy property, minimum strength 11, 13, or 15. It's funny, pretty funny. It's hilarious. Who would have guessed? What else have we got here? Rubber armor. So the wearer takes reduced damage from bludgeoning weapons and... What's this? Gale damage? What's gale? It also will bounce the weapon back, giving a chance to disarm the wearer. Rubber armor. My gosh. Okay, alright, let's take a note of this one. I don't know how I'm going to deal with that one. It's, Okay, alright, let's see the next thing. Bladed armor instead of battle. So I actually think we should ditch the idea completely. I reckon we don't duplicate it at all. Just because there are... Look, I bet you you can find somebody who's made spiked armor, which is essentially what it is, right? It's spiked armor. I don't know if... Does 5e have a spiked armor option? Smoldering armor, spike, shield. I guess 5e doesn't have spiked armor. Does Shadow Dark have spiked armor? I would have thought they did. It's always been a thing in the past. So what do we got here? Armor of the Saint, no. Armor of Oni. Sorry about the noise. It is very hot today. And they have decided to start up. So is it under S for Spike? And I don't mean Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Sword. No, it doesn't. Okay, alright, well... Okay, I'll think. I won't cross it out, but I'll think about it. But yeah, okay, let's keep going. Bladed armor, afternoon. No, light armor increases dex modifier cap by 2, removing strength requirement. No, the problem is, and this is the biggest issue. This is why I've tried to be very, very tame with what I've created so far. Is that what is more valuable to the players playing a character, whatever game they're playing? Is it a magic weapon or magic armor? It is always magic armor, particularly when it messes with armor class and it messes with their ability to move quietly, and when it messes with their ability to remove a dex modifier cap, which essentially throws it into a completely different area. I think it's a bad idea, so I'm not going to make that. Dusk Dawn armor, advantage on stealth based on time of the day. I see. We've kind of got something going on like that already, but it's specific to the woods or forest. Just about here. Paste. Okay, what else we got? Keep going. Silvered gilded armor costs more. Defib armor. Oh my gosh. When the wearer's heart stops, it sends a shock to the heart, giving a chance the wearer's heart restarts. Really, it could be just as simple as they drop to instead they are on 1 hit point rather than they die. Like that's really all it is. It's not a dumb idea. It's actually a pretty good idea. I actually kind of like it. But it's also higher level armor again. Agile armor plus 5 to speed. So we want to make armor that makes you move faster. It's like speedy armor. Okay, alright. Mirror armor. This is a good idea, Pale Rider. Mirror armor. It is as reflective as a mirror, deadly to gaze attack creatures. Okay, I like this. It's like a very specific magic armor that you would have to wear to deal with a monster or creature. And I think that's got a lot of value. I'm putting that up to the top of my list, mate. That's going to get done first. Falling damage. Rubber armor, that would make more sense. I like that more. I like the idea that the rubber armor allows you to fall and you don't take any falling damage. That is hilarious, can I just say? Very, very funny. Rather like it a lot, actually. Let's work on a couple of those ideas. So let's go hashtag what are your magic armor ideas. Let's do that, and then we go here, simple, common. Easy to make powerful armor, not so easy to make not so powerful armor. So that's that one. Is that a chainsaw or is it a weed whacker? I'm not sure. Anyway, so let's see. Let's go back to here. Let's get into this. We've definitely got some potential here. I like this a lot. Mirrored armor. Mirrored armor. And I think... Oh, let's do this. Down, 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 down. Let us make this heavy armor. I don't think it should be medium. Well, it could be... Could it be medium? It could be medium and heavy, or could it just be heavy? My general feeling is it would just be, because I want it to have a shiny reflective surface to do its job properly, because that's the whole point behind what you're trying to do with this. And medium armor falls into chain shirt, chain mail, the breastplate is one thing, half plate. Then we've got heavy, which is ringed. I think what we do is we stipulate what it is. I think that's the best way. I think we just make it plate. While we're in the suit of full plate. Let us make it full plate. Is that right? I feel like that's probably the best way to go with this. Did I just change the wrong thing? This is shocking. Oh, I've gone into here and I haven't. Oh, okay. So undo this. Messing up things. Okay. All right. Okay, sheesh. It's getting too hot and my brain is going... let's go here. Copy. And paste. And we take this out. Did I get this right this time? Did I stuff it up? Some that protects you from anything touching you. Yeah, okay, I got that. Alright, mirrored armor. Mirrored plate armor. Okay. We're going to make it heavy. Requires a chimney. While wearing the suit of full plate armor, it reflects suit of full plate armor. Its surface is reflective like a mirror. A mirror. And so now we need to talk about creatures with gaze, abilities and powers. Creatures with gaze, abilities and powers, like the basilisk and basilisk and Medusa. Suffer creatures with gaze, abilities and powers like the basilisk and Medusa suffer the effects of their own gaze, attack, or gaze attack, ability check, or saving throw when they look at the when they look at you. Holy shit! I don't think this is common though. I think we can say this is falling into something else. This is something else, because now we're turning the tides. It's not common armor, but it's cool. Certainly the way I've written it is sort of, it's doing a lot. Is there anything that duplicates this? I don't know. I don't know that there is. For the life of me, I don't know that there is. Okay. I'm going to have to think a little bit about that. I think one of the spells sits in the range of being like, what is it? Is it restore, or is it less restoration that removes petrification? Because we're kind of like, we're not just doing that, we're doing the opposite. We're sending it back, which is a big deal. Is there a spell like called, do we still have turn to stone as a spell? Oh, flesh to stone. Flesh to stone. So what? That's really what we've done. It's a level 6 spell in 5e. It's a high level spell in older versions of the game. It really ramps things up. I don't think we can count it as anything other than, let's see. Yeah, it has to be considered rare. I was thinking it might be rare, but I think that's where we need to put it. If we're going to create it, it would have to be rare armor. Doesn't matter for other systems because they really won't use this category of the thing. But anyway, so that's that. I think that covers everything. Is it nice and clear? Oh, hopefully it is. Okay, all right. And then we've got this one. Not too sure how to do this. I think I can figure out this one. Heavy property, rubber. The rubber armor thing is, I think we can do the rubber armor. Let's take that, cut it, bring it up here. How am I doing for time? Okay. And then paste, and then we make rubber armor. Really, it's featherfall that we're talking about here, isn't it? essentially it's just another type of featherfall. Featherfall. And featherfall is it a level 1 or level 2 spell? It's level 1. Okay. Okay, so rubber armor. To do that, let's make it let's give it a few different things. Paste. Armor, light, medium here. Common, requires attunement. This armor. Reduce damage from bludgeoning weapons. No, the falling thing where it would bounce when he falls, well, they're wearing the thingy. It would have to be both. This becomes more complicated because now we're dealing with bludgeoning weapons and stopping incoming bludgeoning damage. So it's not really going to be common now. But I don't know what reduces bludgeoning damage and at least 5e. What is it? Let's see. How to get bludgeoning damage immunity. Okay, so to gain bludgeoning damage immunity in Dungeons & Dragons, you can typically rely on high-level spells like Armour of Invulnerability. Is there? Or specific class features. High levels, gain resistance to no, not resistance. I literally mean armor vulnerability and vulnerability. This is a spell. Okay. Let's do a search for that. Armor of Invulnerability. It's a magic item. It really already exists. No. Rubber armor. No, it's no. No. No, it already exists. I'm not going to do it. So that's that gone. What was the other thing I was trying to do? Prestidigitation. I always tend to make armor that somebody can clean, but I think there's already a magic armor that stops from getting dirty already. Which is I know it's a strange thing, but sometimes you have players in your group who insist on having certain things, and being dirty is an issue for some of my players. I don't know that I really want to bother doing that, but I guess that could be another thing that we add. Sentinel Initiative. Cast off clockwork, data, blah, 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 blah. Blasey, blah, blah, blah. Okie dokies. Glamour, studded leather. I think this is... Okay, bonus action, blow. No, that's not a... It's got to have a... It's got to be a common. It wouldn't be rare. It would be... I don't know. It would be common rarity in this game, I'm sure. Gleaming, yeah. Never gets dirty. It's really already exists. There's no point doing it. I'm not going to. Okay. So don't bother with that idea. So I think everything else is really unnecessary, so we'll remove it from my brain. Down, resistance already exists. Fire, shape Water, no. Shillelagh, shocking. We've done the shock and grasp thing with anybody trying to touch you. You don't really touch them, they have to touch you. But anyway, religious burst, sorceress burst, not religious burst. Is there a religious burst? There must be sometime. Somewhere there is a religious burst. Starry whisper. Damn it, gee. Thunderclap. I don't think any of these are going to really work. Okay, alright. So we'll take that off the cards. I guess it'll be down to level 1 spells. But before we do that, do I want to do this? Skinned leather, hide armor, carved from a creature that's sent in visuals of a creature. Thinking hard about this. There's the multiple image one. It's really basically mirror image. Mirror image 5e. Here we go. Which is a spell. It would be considered uncommon to have it. The problem is I don't want to structure it like mirror image is such a complicated, long-winded spell, trying to cover all of its bases. So unless I can figure out how to structure this idea here without it turning into like a couple of paragraphs, heck, even a paragraph would be too much. 4 sentences, I don't know that I like that idea at all. Juicer, heavy armor, strength, dawn, dusk. Sheesh. Okay. Alright, let's go back to the chat and see what we've got here. And let's send it over. Alright, let's have a look. What do you got here, people? Oh, God. There's a lot of ideas here. Hello, Derp. Derp is a patron and a moderator. And I would also like to point out that Derp is one of the people who helped me do the Shadow Dark classes and ancestries recently. So, utility armor. I'm liking this more. Gains a D4 bonus to checks made with tools or adventuring gear. Hell yeah. Oh, let's just give them advantage on that. I like this idea. The hydration armor is it's very June-like. Yeah, I like the idea a lot. It's pretty cool. Yeah. A +4 bonus to checks. If we're going to give them a +4 bonus, I'd prefer to just give them a +2 bonus, and since +2s just kind of get in the way after a while, it may actually be... No, I think the bonus to checks is not what we want the armor to be. I feel like the armor should be like a suit. You know how you can wear a suit and it's got all these sort of things for holding all your tools and your gear? I think that is probably where I want to go with that idea. So the name of it is probably the only thing I'll keep. Let's see if I can get this to go over there. But that's definitely at the top of one of my, definitely back at the top of the list is like the utility one. The hydration one, I like that a lot. That's a clever one. So Shy X, Pale Rider, nice job. Power armor calculation is swapped from Dex to Strength. It's an interesting idea. I'm not actually against doing something like that. But obviously it would wind up being... It would be like giving you a +1, +2, +3, but then it's also very exploitable, because if a player then decides to pick up, this is one of those times, the power armor idea is one of those times where if a player has built their fighter or their character and they put no dex in it at all, and they got this, but they had a really high strength, and they had sort of just left the dex because they figured there was no point having a dex modifier because I'm wearing plate armor. Well, now I have power armor, and I can use dexterity and add that to my armor bonus. This is a really bad idea, and I'm just thinking about this. This is probably one of the worst examples, believe it or not, of making magical armor that you could possibly do. Because I know my home group are made up primarily of power gamers, and that's the first thing they would tell me as soon as I put it in front of them, and say, well, Fred, you have just fallen into a trap, because those of us who are wearing plate armor, full plate armor, and don't have a dex modifier, and are only focusing on our strength, we had plate armor before. Now you give us power armor, and we can just fuck the game up as much as we like, and you will never be able to hit us unless you roll a 20. No, this is, don't ever do this, people. Don't ever do that idea. It's a really bad one. Unfortunately, it is not going to be coming up. Sorry, it is gone. Derp. Kamikaze vest. Explode, dealing damage to self and target with a near range. Oh my god. An exploding set of armor that hurts you and those around you. So Derp is a patron and a moderator, and that is a very sick idea. It's a very sick idea. Banshee armor. When a gust of wind passes over the armor, it creates a banshee howl, causing fear, not death. Okay, I kind of like that idea. That's interesting. I'll have to think a bit more about it. I don't know how I'd structure it. Anyway, let's do that. Paste. And go down again. The Empress new armor. Armor is invisible when worn. The wearer appears naked. Yes. Yes, please. Oh, that's my new favorite piece of armor. This is we got to definitely make that one. That is brilliant idea. It was percolating in my brain, and I could not for the life of me figure out what to call it, or even how it would be structured, and you've written it down. So yeah, my idea was only partially formed while sitting on the toilet. With the rubber armor, though, could give a bonus to edge weapons to balance it out. No, I think it's best to leave it alone. I think the rubber armor is a bad idea. I think it's better to just... It already exists as another armor. There's no point making it. There really isn't. We're just duplicating something else. Orthodontic armor replaces missing limbs while donned. Oh, okay. This is interesting. Okay. So let me say something about this. For those of you who are unaware, I work in the health field, like mental health, drug and alcohol, brain injury, and the hardcore people I work with, okay? It's a locked site. It's only one step removed from being a full-blown locked medical hospital, which is just another step away from being in a prison. And essentially it's a prison. But I've also worked with people who have had physical disabilities, can't use their limbs, legs, things are missing, stuff like that. Eyes, you name it, all sorts of stuff. And I get the idea of doing this, but the last thing I want to do is create armor to compensate for a game master who's decided that they're going to cut a limb off one of their player characters, and this armor is the way to go. I am a very forward-thinking person, but I don't like to encourage not so much the idea of not having diversity, but the insane nonsense that I have to tolerate at work and outside of work in my hobby. It is like a few things that I've seen crop up, and this is one thing I'm probably not going to make, So even though I saw the idea and I was thinking about it, I've decided I'm probably not going to use it. Interesting, but it's not for me. Let somebody else come up with that nonsense. Anyway. Okay, soul cage armor. Houses an incorporeal creature. What the heck? What do we have it then? Okay, next thing. Armor of detox. The armor will eradicate any poison or substance from the wearer. This is not a bad idea. This is not a bad idea. I like this. We can kind of do that, and it's not going to be too crazy. What am I doing here? Got utility. Oh. Kamikazes. Okay, so this is going down. That is completely nuts. This is going here. Alright, so there's a few things to work on here. Rubber armor. No, I'm not doing it. Hello, Noroak. How are you? Noroak is a patron. Thanks for showing up. I'm not doing the rubber armor. It already exists. It's just called something else. I'm not making it. Floater armor. I created that. So if you're wondering, that's one of the first things I did. Basically, it allows users to succeed all swim checks and can safely float. I've already done it. I've made it. That's one of the very first things that I made. It's done, dirt. Replace the limb when doffed with metal one matching the other. Yeah, metal if it has metal, wood otherwise. Yeah, I just don't want to do that. Do you know what I mean? Just leave that alone. It's hard enough for people when they do lose limbs. We don't have to be starting to make fictitious magic items for it. Frost Warden's plate. 3 times a day you can cast Armor of Agathis at 3rd level, gain resistance to frost. No. If you know as well as I do not like magic items that have recharges per day. It either works all the time or you can use it once per day. That's it. And the rationale for me is people forget how many charges they've used. They use one charge. This is why I don't use recharges. And it's just you use it once a day or you use it all the time. And that's how I build them. There's a reason for this. And you know I'm right. Players, the vast majority of players, maybe not you, and maybe not the one edge case you find, but most players, you play a game session, you play for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, you use your magic item, it has 5 charges on it, and you forget to mark off you used a charge. And then you get to the next session, and you play again, okay, but dawn hasn't arrived, and you can't remember if you marked off the charge last time, or whether you're supposed to mark off a charge, and then as soon as your game extends over a number of sessions in a game world day, the confusion happens. And it causes problems for players, causes problems for the game master and dungeon master, and arguments. So I don't make anything like that. I know they were a thing. I know, well, it's up to the player to keep a track. The problem is, unless you're really good at it, even the best of players forget this shit. So I'm not making that. Plate of Pixie Strength. While wearing this armor, your strength score is set to 3. The item can only be removed by a willing fae. Oh my god. You want to create a cursed magic item, essentially. Well, that's kind of my Achilles heel, making cursed magic items, but let's put that in. How's my time? I'm almost out of time, and I got to the bottom. Cure Light Wounds armor. Armor has 1 to 6 symbols on it. Your red can cast... no. No. You can suck down a potion. You can suck down a potion. Or a similar healing spell. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm going to end this poll. Let's have a look. Clearly a lot of people have made some... Look. I've been really trying to focus more on the sort of the low level stuff. Have you made magic armor for your tabletop role-playing game? Yes, 80% out of 15 votes, which is a lot. No, 20%. So that means a lot of you are probably pretty good at doing this sort of thing, I would suspect. Yep. So let's go back and let's have a look at some of the ideas we had. let's have a look at some of the ideas I definitely want to consider fleshing out, and I'm probably going to run out of time right now. So we made a couple of suits. We made the unsinkable armor, which allows you to float and you can't sink sink below the surface of liquid, which is good. We've got the luminescent armor, which makes you glow brightly. Probably not necessarily very useful, but amusing. Next, the quick change armor. You can take it off and put it on, and 1 round is a free action. Okay, so the idea being, you can take it off or put it on, and 1 round is a free action. Okay, so there's that one. The fake armor that just isn't armor, that looks like armor. It has no armor class benefit. We have the swarm armor, which is uncommon and allows you to the etched swarm comes off the armor. You command it to go and attack your enemy. So that's that one. We have the holy armor, which is basically your holy symbol, so you don't have to hold it. I'm fine with that. The woodland armor, or green armor, which basically is going to give you advantage on stealth or dexterity checks to hide and sneak around in forest and woodland areas. We have the shocking armor, which basically if you touch it or you hit with an unarmed strike, it's going to inflict damage, but weapons is not going to be any good. And you can only do it once per round. Per round. I'm going to make once per round. Okay, that's the shocking armor. Then we have the mirrored armor, which basically is quite powerful because it's rare, and it's basically reflect the basilisk, medusa, or gaze attacks back at the creature that's trying to do something to you. That doesn't mean you won't necessarily not be affected by its thing, but the monsters also have to deal with it. Because it's not like you won't be affected by this. It just means that whatever's trying to do the gaze attack is going to send the gaze attack back at itself as well. Utility armor, I think this should be includes all tools and something like that. I'll get to that. I'll figure it out. That's what I'm kind of wanting to do. I don't want to give a bonus to it. Hydration armor rehydrates the body. I think this is a great idea. The Emperor's new armor. The armor is invisible when worn. The wearer appears naked. So we can give it any armor type, and that would be funny. Because the other one, where the fake armor is you look like you're wearing armor, you're not. This one is you look like you are naked, but you are wearing armor. That is funny. I like that. Banshee armor, interesting. The detox armor is interesting. Even the kamikaze armor is... So there's a couple here that I'll probably work through. But we're out of time and I need to go, unfortunately. Sorry, I had to finish early today. Things cropped up, and one of those is I need to eat, and I also need to make sure I get everything organised for work. So I'm going to need my dinner, since I'm going to go work in a second. Not too far off. So, armour of arming. While wearing this armour, you can summon any weapon of your choice as a bonus action. Oh, no. Free action, but not a bonus action. Though you must have enough money to purchase the weapon. The weapon is... I don't think we need to worry about that. The gold is teleport to the shop. Oh, I see. I see where we're going with this, Norok. I see where we're going with this. Okay, so I will put this up, hopefully, at the end of the week. Along with, I've done the magic bags went up, and I have to do the magical musical instruments, and I need to do the armor, and I will hopefully find time, but I also need to draw art for Shadow Dark. So, yeah, I can draw. Although I much prefer AJ Pickett to do the drawing for me, but I don't think that's going to happen. He's too busy on Super Atomic. I think that is probably where we're at with this. I think that's probably the best way we go. Yeah, let's just finish it up. I will get that stuff up there, hopefully. Just bear with me. I'm trying to get a book out. Anyway, So huge thank you to everybody who's been watching and listening. Hopefully it was useful and interesting to you, and it's given you some ideas. I think there's some brilliant ideas in chat, and hopefully I've provided you with a few ideas of your own that you could work with. Thank you for taking part in the poll, if you did. A huge thank you to all my patrons who support me on Patreon, because without you and your support, I probably would not have continued to do this. And hopefully we keep moving forward rather than going backwards. But I am doing my best to move forward. I also want to thank those people in chat who provided their ideas. Agile Monk, Shy X, some brilliant ideas. Noroak, Pale Rider in particular had some brilliant ideas today. I'm really impressed. Shy X and Pale Rider did really great. Derp, who else was there that was in here who was throwing ideas my way? I think that was William. Is it William? William also. And is that everybody? I think that's everybody. I think most of it was from Pale Rider and Shy X. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, thank you so much. So wherever you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, or the night, please look after yourself, your family, and friends. Be nice to your neighbours, and hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.